Hey, what's up everybody? Platform Disciple here, and today we are looking at the ranked ladder because I'm doing pretty well on it right now. I want to show you the deck I am using. So right now I'm sitting at 52. My rating is 113. As you can see, it was a little higher before, but I lost a match recently. So what am I playing? I am playing with a 100% Angels deck. And if you guys are interested in imitating the deck, the version I'm using has very few rares, if any rares. I'm not sure if I think I have a couple, but the point is this is very budget. You can basically deck it out, like you can make it all fancy and stuff if you want to throw in Martyr Golems or Cassiel or whoever you want. Cassiel's actually an uncommon. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't own her. But first, let's look at the commanders. So Tempus, Champion of Patient, is super good as a 1-drop. It's a card that starts off okay and then transitions very quickly into a dominant threat. It's really great. And likewise, we have two other powerful 1-drops. Forerunner of the Champions starts as a 3/3, but becomes a 6/6 very, very quickly because we have a champion guaranteed on turn 1 if we want it. The rest of the deck is largely common and uncommon angels, some of which interact with the champions. So we've got Lucca, which is just going to make all our angels bigger. Great card. We've got another Forerunner of Champions. We've got 2 more, so we have 5 total, 2 in the command zone, 3 in the deck. We have 3 Champions Herald, which is really great because it allows us to get a champion card right from our hand onto the battlefield, because it puts the champion card onto the battlefield right where Champion's Herald used to be. Gives you a lot of flexibility with how you play. We have Cornicen, which is great because it gives you 2 guys to benefit from your global buffs like Lucca and a few others that are coming later. It also triggers... I don't know if it triggers Tempus. Actually, it doesn't. I take that back. But we'll find out when we watch me play. We have 1 Soldier of Solace just because I had nothing else to put in the deck, and it's a 2-cost card, and as you can see in my curve, I believe we have 1 2-cost card, and it is that. Luckily, we have enough 1-cost cards that we're not going to take a fall on turn 2, really. Soldier of Purity is just a great card, and it also helps against decks that are using Recursion or Sleepers of Avarak. Recursion, for those of you who don't know, refers to taking stuff out of the graveyard and bring it back to your hand or back to your deck or things like that. Zealous Protector, it's another good dude. It's not as aggressive as the other ones, but sometimes you play against a deck that's more aggressive than yours, like Flamed On, and it's really helpful there. Harahel, Champion of Virtue, is my favorite champion in the deck, aside from maybe Tempus. Because he just makes all your guys big. What could be better? We have 1 Tyra. This is a really, really good card. I wish I had more. So helpful against other decks that are slower decks. Not so much against aggro decks, but a 5-cost 10/10 isn't bad. It's just that extra damage is really great. Harbinger of Law is exhaust plus a dude. And you don't ordinarily have access to exhaust when you're playing the angels, the overseers, so that's good effect. Here's the other champion I have, which is Kraos, the Champion of Ruin. He is kind of weak for his stats, but you can cheat him into play with Champion's Herald, which can do some serious damage to their defense or their offense, because it's a surprise. So that actually cuts it for our character cards. So you're probably thinking, like, you have a bunch of cards that revolve around champions, but you actually only have 4 champions in the deck. So I got a text. I'm gonna cut the video here. All right. Sorry about that. All right, so where were we? We don't have that many champions, but that's okay because we don't need a ton of champions to make Forerunner of the Champions work. If it turns into a 6/6, that is better than most other 1-drops out there. And if it gets bigger than that, that's great. Not to mention, if you have more than 1 champion, if one champion comes out, the other comes back. So you can do this kind of in and out where you're slowly increasing the power of Forerunner of the champions, and it has the added bonus of giving you the opportunity to dodge some removal spells that you might not otherwise be able to avoid. It's also worth noting, Tempus keeps her stats when she goes back to your hand, so that's even better. Banish kills things, it's great. Higher Calling makes a potentially weaker guy into a wicked strong guy. Guns of Goliath is Lucca's effect on a spell, or an ability. It's pretty good. Heavenly Wish I like, it's very versatile. Most of the time we're going to be using it to kill something, but I have many times relied on the other two for situational effects. Heaven's Assistance we have as a one of. It's great against decks that have lots of characters, and it's very weak against decks that have very few characters. That's why we only have one. And Mysterious Box is a super good card for keeping nasty things off the battlefield on your opponent's side, but it has two other uses that you might not expect. One is you can take one of your own characters if you foresee something like a board wipe or the Calamity. You can take your guy out of the game and then he'll come back. This is assuming you have priority. The other thing you can do is Lucca says when Lucca enters the deployed area, not when you play Lucca, not when you deploy Lucca, it's when she comes into the deployed area, which means if she leaves it and then comes back, you get the effect. So you can use Mysterious Box, you can play Lucca, get the +2/+2, pop her out of the game, and then she comes back, and an additional +2/+2 happens. Sideboard, we've got another champion. This heals us. It's only there for when we are against the most aggressive decks that we need that extra health. Likewise, Adaptive Drone is there for the same reason. X is there if they are running like some characters that are just supposed to mow us down in one hit. He pretty much nullifies that threat. We've got Grave Rob, just in case, Banish, and the Angel, I'm trying to remember her name, Soldier of Purity. If that's not enough to handle their graveyard shenanigans, then this will definitely be. Consecrating Angel's good if they're running location cards, obviously. Likewise, Consecration kills artifacts and locations. And that's the deck. That is all you need. And I'm doing very well with this deck. I highly recommend it to people who like playing the Angels. Is it the best deck out there? I don't know. There are a lot of very good decks right now, and there's a lot of flexibility in the meta for what you can be playing, but this is a personal favorite of mine. So we're going to play a ranked game just to show you how I pilot the deck, and we'll see how it goes. I'll tell you what I'm thinking, and you know, what should you be thinking, hopefully. It's possible that I'll make mistakes. It's very possible, but if you're less experienced with the deck, then this will at least give you some insight into how it plays out. While we're here, while we're waiting, we're going to talk about Champion's Companion. This is a card that you would think would be good in this deck that I am not using. I think if you have a lot of the better champion cards, maybe Saul or other ones that are a little rarer that I don't have, maybe you should use it. But in the version I'm running, we don't have enough champions to justify using Champion's Companion. It has very poor stats, and I want to have the characters that have the better stats, hopefully at all the times throughout the game. Damn, son, this is taking too long. Oh! At long last. Alright. We're in, boys. Took a while, but we're in. So we're starting the game off with Tempus. I start the game off with Tempus 9 times out of 10. The one exception is against Flamed On. I'm looking to avoid Flamed On Commando. Veror, they can Lightning Blast it, but they'll Lightning Blast it either way if it's in the support or the command zone. I'm putting out these. This will put it out of Lightning Blast range. Otherwise, I might put something else out. So they're playing a very control-heavy deck. You can tell right off the bat, because they're looking to increase their guys' health, and these guys are there just to stall. But we have an advantage in that we have flying characters in the deck, and this does not have flying. The worst case scenario is they play Lance of Jinhai, which will give it reach, and then they can block our guy. So I'm very, very afraid of, what is it called? Death Ray happening. I'm going to pull this back. Whether or not that's the best decision, I'm not sure, but we're going to do it. So one good thing that's going for us is Tyra is super good against any control deck, because it's going to do damage just right off the bat. Balance. So maybe they're not playing as much of a control deck as I thought, and maybe they're playing something that resembles a combo deck much more closely. There's not much you can do about that. One good thing is Mysterious Box can reset these guys. I'm using the 4-cost effect so I can keep it around. Can put these guys back at their starting health. I don't know if he knows that, but this card pretty much single-handedly counters whatever kind of strategy he is trying to use. Which is a real shame for him. I'm concerned about the turn 6 Mass Death. We're going to pull back for a turn. And I'm going to play... I'd like to play both of these, but this guy's just going to go into the defense zone and probably die. I think I'm going to play Tyra, actually. So I have 6 cards. He has... and I think 9? Yeah, 9. So unless he plays 3 cards, he's going to take 7. Mass Death, like I said. It's possible he has 2 Mass Deaths, but I'm willing to take the chance this time. I'm going to leave Tyra in the support zone to do damage every turn. One thought is I could flicker Lucca out to get that additional effect, but I'm not going to, because I got better things to do. No Mass Death this turn. And they're going to die in 2 turns to Tyra, unless they have a way to kill her. I'm okay with these dying to Mass Death at this point. I'm going to pull back Tempus on the basis that they're either dead or they're not. Only one of these has to get through. And are they dead? They're dead. I'm certain of it. Alright, so that's game 1. And against this deck, my deck has so many things in it, meaning Mysterious Box and Flyers, that just hands down counter the strategy that they're trying to use, that I don't know if I need to sideboard anything in. Consecration might make sense depending on the other cards in their deck, but because I don't know what they are, I'm not going to take the risk. I'm going to take out Zealous Protector, 2 of them, and put in 2 Consecrating Angels, because Consecrating Angel is a more aggressive card, and I don't need the extra health or defense against their deck. Heaven's Assistance is almost certainly not going to help either, but I don't know if I can put anything else in. X isn't worth it. I'm going to put in Adaptive Drone, not for the health, but for the 2-cost 6/6. I think a 2-cost 6/6 benefits me more than a 5-cost, presumably 3 or 4 2/2s. And are there any other things we have to worry about? Nope, that is it. We're done. Game 2. Okay. I'm tempted to play Forerunner of Champions here. because I will get that extra +3/+3 on it. And if they Lightning Blast this, that would be miserable, but we gotta take the risk. And it's dead. That might have been a mistake. So we don't look like we're gonna get a champion for a while. Or we have none immediately. That was a possibly critical error. So now we have one. I'm gonna banish Daude. I have priority, so he can't use that effect to increase his health. Daude dies. Drone dies. 3 damage, that's bad. Higher Calling, just because... Ooh, if I get Lightning Blasted, that would be bad, but I don't think he's going to do that. Chain Lightning would be a nightmare. The 3-for-1, that would be so bad. Get ready. Oh no, he spent all his mana, so we're good. Okay. Might as well put out Tyra. And yes, by the way, we did lose our other Forerunner of Champions, but I think it's worth it because I'd like to... There's the Death Ray. It's bad. This one is going so much worse. But what can you do? They have priority. So I'm going to just play Kraos and pass. They're going to have a lot of trouble killing Tyra while she is in the support zone. And while she is in the support zone, I'm getting free damage that they can't defend from, which is super good. And I don't care if they attack me. The odds of them killing me that way are pretty low. So I have priority. So I think I'm going to use this to give Kraos? I'll say Kraos. An extra life. I'd also like to give Tyra an extra life, but I think she is safe in the support zone for the time being. There's the extra life. They're setting up to draw a bunch of cards. They're slowly dying to Tyra. I'd like to draw some cards, but I'm not gonna do that. They have priority. Might as well start being a nuisance, set those back. We don't have any characters that are going out that don't have flying now, but in case they come. The other option was reshuffle something back into my deck. There's the Assassinate. That's brutal. Put that away. They're pretty low. I'm gonna call that they're going to try to do... Actually, I can play around Mass Death. I can give the guy an extra life again. Ooh, no, wrong one. Target character gains second life. Got 2 lives on each of those, and we're gonna do another higher... Oh, that's right, it turns it into a unique character, so that doesn't help us. Guns of Goliath gives us a little extra damage. It's not as much as I'd want, but sometimes you gotta settle. Apparition. So they're probably gonna use that just to defend. So that we kill them in 1 more hit. 4. That goes away. Shuffle away Higher Calling because we have no good targets, and that. I suspect that wins us the game on the basis that even if they mass deathed, both of these guys have extra lives. They'd have to do some craziness to kill both of them. There's one life. Poof, gone. And that's a easy win for us. I'm afraid that wasn't a particular challenge, so I don't feel like this really demonstrated what this deck's capable of, because I had such an overwhelming advantage before we even started playing, just because this deck caters so well to beating that kind of deck. But now you guys have seen it in action. I might show you this deck more. We'll see. I'm basically doing this just because I've got some ideas for some more in-depth videos, but I don't have time to do them at the moment, so just throwing out a quick ranked gameplay video. Hope you guys, liked it, and hopefully I'll be giving you a more, like informational videos soon. Okay. See you guys, I don't know, a week? Hopefully sooner. Peace out.